everyone, welcome back to Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. And when we last left off, we were doing the episode 5, Rise from the Ashes, final day trial former. And what we figured out was that the SL9 case that I guess Emma was a part of, apparently she was actually the murderer in that, or at least it looks like that. Because from what all the evidence, it looks like that she pushed Marshall, and he ended up falling onto a very sharp object. And that's the reason why he died, and it wasn't Joe Dark. So, we are going to, I guess, deal with the consequences of that today and try to figure out how that, like, fits in with the case we have now with Lana. So, let's move into it. Loading. February 25th, 12:06. Sorry, Edgeworth. I didn't mean to get you in trouble. Don't worry about it. This is my problem, not yours. Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Pals? Are we all pals now, Gumshoe? Oh. Guess I am. I'll come back later. Oh, poor Gumshoe. Wait! Detective Gumshoe, what is it? Is it important? Will it save Lana? You got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run all around while on duty. And on top of it all, you call me here? I've seen happier people at funerals. Whoa. I take it Lana's having you run errands again. Let me tell you, this is the last time, pal. Here. Evidence law? Why does the book have a chick? Here. She asked me to give you this. Evidence law. Oh! Okay, I remember Edgeworth talking about this. You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule number 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of police department. Okay. Chief Prosecutor also wanted me to give you a message. She said, if you're planning to take him on, you're gonna need this book. This looks like a court trial for dummies or something like that, or lawyering for dummies book kind of thing. I guess I'll need to give this book a thorough read. I don't think you'll have enough time to read the whole book before the trial's done. Explain the 2 rules of evidence law. I'm guessing the second law is probably going to be something that's very important, because we already know the first one, because Edgeworth told us. Doesn't look like that book will do you any good now, though. All that's left now is the Chief Prosecutor's sentence. That's where you're wrong, buddy-o! Haven't you figured it out yet? Why I'm still sitting in that prosecutor's seat, despite all those allegations being thrown at me. The real trial today hasn't begun yet. Oh? What? What else is there left to do? Your credibility's been but ruined with this forged evidence you're unaware of. Emma Skye found out to be unwillingly caused a man's death. And now you're telling me you want to do more? Yes. You gotta be kidding me, pal. You're missing the point, Detective. Lana didn't murder Detective Goodman. She merely stuck a knife into a dead body. That means the real killer is still out there. Fair enough. What? No matter what it takes. This case has hurt too many people. It's time to bring it to an end. No, I'm glad that Edgeworth's on our side now, okay? Like, for the first few episodes where he was just like a jerk, I didn't really like that much. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor? The Inquiry Committee is planning to impose harsh penalties for your actions. Thank you for the news, Your Honor. Very well, normally this is where the prosecution calls forth a witness. But, cough cough. This isn't easy to say. You see, there is more concerned... Wait, there is some concern that you, Mr. Edgeworth, may have struck a bargain. You think I may have manipulated the witnesses. I didn't say that. No, no, no. It's just that you see, everyone's been talking and... Very well, Your Honor. I have a solution. That being the case, the prosecution will allow the defense to call forth all further witnesses. Thank you, Edgeworth. What? But there's no precedent for what you're proposing. Undeniably, this is an unusual arrangement, but a very effective one. It would prove that I haven't struck any deals with the witnesses. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say? Edgeworth has found a way to continue the trial. Good, Edgeworth. Very well, the defense accepts the prosecution's proposal. Then it's settled. The defense may now call forth the next witness. What kind of witnesses do we have, really? Mr. Wright? You do realize this is your last chance. If you call the wrong witness, this trial is as good as over. The defense calls... Oh, gosh! Okay, okay. My heart is telling me Gaunt, okay? But I don't know for sure if that's... Okay, so let's look through all our people first, okay? So, we got Mike Meekins, no. Jake Marshall's already been up on there. We can't really do Bruce Goodman because he's dead. Gumshoe, no, he's not going to be helpful. Lana's been up there, Emma's been up there, and Angel Star has already been up there. So I don't think any of them would really help us, which I know Gaunt has been up there, but he's the one that is blackmailing Lana. So I feel like it's him. Take that! Damon Gaunt. The defense calls Damon Gaunt to the stand. Gaunt? What does he have to do with anything? As a defendant's partner 2 years ago, Mr. Gaunt has first-hand knowledge of the crime. I feel we should hear about what he has to say. As luck would have it, he should still be in the courthouse. He would also have least likely to have been manipulated by me in any way. You're correct, Edgeworth. Wouldn't you agree, Your Honor? True. All right, bailiff, please escort Mr. Gaunt to the stand. I love his design. Witness, please state your name and occupation. What is this? Some kind of practical joke. Your name and occupation, sir. Worthy. Are you sure you want to do this? Your name and occupation? Exactly. This is not him that's wanting to do it. It's me, Mr. Wright. So, you want to play hardball, eh? Please, Mr. Gaunt. Fine, fine. My name is Damon Gaunt. I'm the acting chief of police. Now then, Chief Gaunt, the court requests you to hear your testimony. Oh, righto. What's with the grim face? Come on. First, let's clear up this SL9 incident. Oh, you mean the time when Lana's sister murdered that prosecutor? Personally, I think it's been made pretty clear already. There are still some things unaccounted for. Oh, like what, righto? Like the role you played in all this. Son, either you're very brave or very foolish. Let's just say a little bit of both. You are aware, of course, that a police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Is that a threat? Weapons? Sure, take my testimony for example. I don't have to give it if I don't want to. What? Is that true? Surely it can't be. I'm afraid so. The chief of police has the right to refuse to testify. Of course, such an action carries with it certain risks. Don't worry, I'm not here to hinder your trial. Just remember, if this turns out to be a big waste of time, don't say I didn't warn you. Very well. The witness may now begin his testimony. Okay, is he going to give us anything? Surely not. As I recall, Neil and I were questioning him that day. To make a long story short, we slipped up. That power outage didn't help either. When I went to my office, I found Lana there. Apparently she has already arranged the crime scene. As you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery. Is that when Dark was arrested? Him! He was lying on the floor, unconscious. Okay. When Emma sent Neil flying, it seems Dark bumped his head. I see. Everything seems pretty clear-cut. If the police chief has the right to refuse to testify, then I'd better hit him hard and fast. Oh, we could try. We could try. As I recall, they were questioning him that day. Who were you questioning? As I recall, ceremony was held in the police department that day. Yes, that's right. I guess you could say I'm a workaholic. After winning his award, Neil is all fired up too. That's probably what spooked Dark and made him run away like that. Was the defendant Lana Skye also present in the room? I don't quite remember. At the very least, she wasn't there when Dark ran for it. To make a long story short, we slipped up. That power outage didn't help. Okay. So the two of you ran immediately after him, right? That's right, but Dark made it to the elevator first. He went upstairs and I went downstairs. I guess you could say he got lucky. I don't like the way you put that. What's this about a power outage? Oh, the elevator stopped all of a sudden and I got the shock of my life. Well, probably not as shocked as Neil was when that knife went into his heart, though. Okay, this guy is starting to show his colors, okay, his true colors. That's not funny. Exactly. When I went to my office, I found Lana there. Okay. Could you tell us what you saw? It was a shocking sight. Neil and that serial killer were lying in a heap on the floor, all tangled together. Dark was lying collapsed on the floor. Yes, apparently he hit his head and was knocked out. Next to them were those two poor girls. Lana and Emma. Lana was cradling Emma in her arms. Looking back at it now, she must have already known what her sister had done. Apparently she had already arranged the crime scene. Okay. How can you know that? Because of the victim's body. It had already been moved. So that means you found the body near Lana's desk. That's right. I think you said earlier. It was my suit of armor that really stabbed the prosecutor. Yes. Anyway. As you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery. So you're saying that the forgery had already taken place by the time you arrived at your office. That's exactly what I'm saying. I can understand how Lana must have felt. But moving a body and hiding evidence is inexcusable, no matter what the circumstance. Staring at the witness won't do you any good, Mr. Wright. If you're going to stare at anything, you better be looking at the court record. Oh, that's fair, that's fair. But which piece of evidence ties Gant to the forgery? Somehow I had to link Gant to the incident. Okay, so let's look at stuff we have. I feel like it's going to be this stuff at the very end. Isn't the evidence law? It might be the evidence law. Actually, he did have... Let's go through the stuff that he had inside his safe. So, he had the... Well, this wasn't really in the safe, but it was in his office, the evidence list, like the second half of it. So we could present that, but I think we should do it at the very last statement. Yeah, we should do it in this one. So tell me, why did you hide the evidence list? You claim you did nothing to do with the forgery. But I'm afraid that is a claim you cannot back up. Explain yourself. Please explain yourself. Several pieces of evidence were found in your office. Take this list, for example. Yes, the list that Emma Skye drew a picture on. That was discovered in your desk. Not only that, but a piece of the jar was sitting in your office. Found where? Inside of the safe, yes. You see, Chief Gaunt, these articles of evidence uncovered in your office are both concrete proof that you also played a part in the illegal investigation. Quite. Chief Gaunt, what's the meaning of this? Oh, here's a defense attorney who may even rival Worthy. So you admit it then, that you were involved in the forgery. Who, me? Or do you mean you? Oh, don't you dare turn this around on us. Don't you dare. No. Me? Oh, why would I do anything with that? Well, you were the one who snuck into my office when you found this evidence. Prosecutors aren't the only ones capable of forging evidence, you know. Defense attorneys can do so too. Isn't that right, Righto? However, Detective Gumshoe was present during the investigation. Worthy, my boy? Not even detectives are exempt from the law. Rest assured, Dick will receive his due punishment. If Detective Gumshoe's salary drops any further, he'll end up paying to work. Oh no, I'm sorry, Gumshoe. Yes, well, in light of the detective's presence, please give us your testimony regarding these pieces of evidence found in your office, and their relation to the forgery that took place. My, kids these days no longer know how to put 2 and 2 together. This guy's gonna lie through his teeth. Ugh. Okay. Let's see. What was it now? A jar fragment and a list. For all I know, you could have planted them in my office. Anyway, you can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. If they were found after Dark was convicted, then they're worthless. There's no reason I'd participate in a forgery. Rearrange the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way. Liar. Liar! Okay. Yes, Your Honor? When investigating the crime scene, you should have been more careful to observe protocol. You do understand that I am the chief of police, right? There will be consequences. Indeed. I believe I will press charges so you won't make the same mistake again. Oh, God. My apologies, Chief. But would you mind waiting until tomorrow for that? Today as well, you know. All right, G. In return, though. I know. That place, right? What place? Okay, evidence of forgery. Okay, they could have been planted in the office. I'd appreciate it if you'd stop making these ridiculous allegations. Yes, you do have a point. You wouldn't have the guts to do something like that. What? I'll have you know, back in the day, I once broke into a cattle ranch and tipped... What? Mr. Wright, what are you saying? Anyways, you can't prove you didn't carry in the evidence, can you? If you have proof to contrary, you're going to need it later. What are you talking about? What else? I'm talking about when Righto's prints are found. Yes, if they're found inside my safe, they would prove his investigation was illegal. But I found the stuff in your safe. I've never faced anyone as slimy as this guy. Anyways, you can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. What do you mean by that? This is all purely hypothetical, of course, but suppose I did place those items in my safe. Such an act wouldn't necessarily constitute forgery. If concealing evidence found at a crime scene isn't forgery... I'm not through speaking yet, Righto. Please be quiet. It all depends on when the evidence was discovered. If they were found after Dark was convicted, then they're worthless. There's no reason I'd participate in a forgery. Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out. It wouldn't help you in any way. Really, Chief Gaunt. At the very least, there is one very large benefit you'd be reaping. What? I wasn't aware. What's this benefit? That would, of course, be the position you have, Chief of Police. The resolution of the SL9 incident secured your promotion to Chief. That is in itself sufficient motivation. Ha! Oh! It's not Christmas yet. Oh, that's a good one. Huh? Do you really think I'm that incompetent? What do you mean? Even without that case, I was already in line to become the next chief. The resolution of the SL9 merely sped up the inevitable. Is that true, Edgeworth? Yes. He was going to be made chief anyways. Oh. Oh. Be careful when pointing that finger, or you might wind up being the one pointed at. So that means there's only one possible motivation for you to commit forgery. If you didn't do it for yourself, then you did it for someone else. That is quite possible. Don't be silly, Worthy. You know me better than that. There's only 3 people I look out for. Me, myself, and I. I don't like that. There it is, out in the open now. Gee, would you mind if I change my pet testimony a little? But by all means, please do. I wouldn't be anyone's accomplice if there was nothing in it for me. Nothing in it for you. Sorry, but the only person I care about is yours truly. That girl, Lana's little sister, was it? If you think I felt sorry for her, you'd better think again. You don't feel sorry for anyone. Be tough on crime and tough on people. That's how I was raised. You seem to be lax enough on yourself, though. Ho, 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 ho. Oh, that's a good one, Worthy. Could there be something in it for him? Let's point out accomplice. Truly, you might not help out anyone for yourself, for your sake. But if it would benefit you, you might decide to assist someone. It appears you've positively determined to portray the chief as a nice man who likes to lend people a hand. That's not what I meant. Very well then. Who is the person you believe Chief Gaunt may have helped forge evidence? So I would say Lana, because now he has her blackmailed, so... Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye, the defendant? I believe there's quite obvious in the light of circumstances. Emma Skye fell victim to an unfortunate series of events. Who would not help her more than her own sister Lana? And as for Chief Gaunt, he would also have a reason to help Lana if she asked him to. That reason, of course, is self-profit. What do you mean? After the SL9 incident was resolved, Lana was appointed to Chief Prosecutor. The person who arranged this job was Chief Gaunt. But how would he profit from all this? He would be able to use the Chief Prosecutor as his puppet. Essentially, he would acquire unchecked authority over all investigations. Exactly. Do you mean to tell me that, despite the Chief's formidable appearance, he plays with puppets? Judge. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Sure. He plays with puppets. Sure, that's what it is. Oh, wait. You must mean puppet. Yes. Admit it, Chief. You assisted Lana in the forgery evidence. Your motive to appoint her as a chief prosecutor so you could control her. Righto, my boy. You have quite an imagination. Let me ask you something. What? Do you have any proof of this? That I controlled Lana? For example, is Lana testifying that I've done such a thing? She's being quiet, yes. There's no way she'd testify against Gaunt. I'm afraid without any proof, this all amounts to nothing more than conjecture. Unless that is also what happened in this incident. Which one would you be? Of course, I'm talking about the murder of Detective Bruce Goodman. The chief prosecutor has been acting strange throughout this entire trial. Almost as if someone has been controlling her. Fair enough. That's true. I agree with that. Worthy, you'd better watch your tongue. I wouldn't want you to get hurt. Just his look there. Just look at him. Just what do you mean? What he means, Your Honor, is that Chief Gaunt is involved in the murder of Detective Goodman. Not only that, but the chief is now making Lana take the rap to cover up his involvement. What? Exactly, Judge. Exactly. Tell me what's happening. I don't understand. Order! I said order! Mr. Wright, you can't be serious. Huh? This is an affront to the highest-ranking officer in our law enforcement agency. Yes. To accuse the chief of police of blackmail and murder. That's it. Impossible! No, it's not impossible. It's improbable. Your Honor, I was merely reiterating what Mr. Edgeworth said in easy-to-understand language. It's too late, Mr. Wright. There's no turning back for us now. Looks like he's the one who's decided to go through with this. Can you prove this, Mr. Wright? That the chief, a high-ranking officer of law, is involved in this murder? Regardless of his rank or title, Chief Gaunt is just a man. The question is he a criminal? I believe the evidence will tell. I see. Alright then. Let's see what Mr. Wright's got. Show us the evidence that ties Chief Gaunt to the murder. Oh, right. We do have, the IDs. Yeah, because he has the record there, and it has 7777 on it. That's his number. This is the ID card list. Yes, the one who shows, who entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. There was one ID on the list we could not determine the owner of yesterday. 7 sevens, yes. Sorry, but there's no way you can prove that my card number... It's your number. What? How do you know that? The safe in Chief Gaunt's office requires a code to open. A 7-digit code. 7 digits. You don't mean... I'm afraid so, Your Honor. The code was 7 sevens. The same as the remaining ID card number on the list. Chief Gaunt? You entered the evidence room on the day of your crime. How stupid was he to use his ID card ID as his safe combo, really? Oh my gosh, Gaunt. You're such a smart guy, but so dumb. Chief Gaunt, what do you have to say? Nothing. The defense search of my office was in violation of regulation. And I will demand Mr. Wright be punished to the maximum extent of the law. But right now, this court demands an explanation for you about the use of this ID card. Chief Gaunt, do you admit it? You entered the evidence room on the day of the crime? What about it? I'm the chief of police, whether it's the evidence room or the bathroom. What's the difference? I can go anywhere I want. Tell me, when you entered the room, were you alone? Always go to the bathroom alone, as I do with the evidence room. Okay. Detective Goodman wouldn't have happened to be with you that day, would he? Of course not. Why would he be? I hadn't seen him in days. You hadn't seen him in days, Chief Gaunt. I'm afraid you've just undone yourself. On that day, you had to have met Detective Goodman. What do you mean? This trial is proposed to determine Lana Sky's guilt. No, it isn't, Your Honor. This trial's purpose is to determine the truth. Exactly, the murderer of Goodman. If Chief Gaunt met the victim on the day of the crime, then we need to determine one thing. What transpired during that meeting? In that case, Mr. Wright, I'm going to have to ask you for evidence. More evidence? Show us proof that the victim met Chief Gaunt on the day of the crime. Okay. Oh, the lost item report. When he lost his ID badge, can only be submitted to the chief of police. So that's the reason why. Okay. Yes. Let's do that. Detective Goodman lost his ID card on the day of the crime. Or, be more accurate, Jake Marshall stole it. So Detective Goodman filled out a lost item report. He would have given the report to Chief of Police. Yet you are in possession of the report, which means you can't be sure if he filed it. He filed it. How do I know, you ask? Because he needed to enter the evidence room that day. Yes, to transfer the evidence out. Oh, that's true. Detective Goodman took the form to you, Chief Gaunt. Then, you accompanied the detective to the evidence room. I accompanied him. There's no other way that a murderer and Detective Goodman could have entered the room. Hold on, let me guess. What you're going to say next. I, the Chief of Police, murdered poor Goodman. Yes, exactly. But wait! The chief didn't necessarily need to accompany him to the evidence room. He could have just lent him his ID card. I guess that's true, Judge. I guess that's true. Yes, now that you mention it. Oh. I guess I'm not going to read that. Sorry, but that's not possible. According to the record, your card was only used once. Yet you showed us your ID card earlier. If you had really lent it to Detective Goodman, it would have been found on his body. Fair point. Fair point. Oh gosh, what's happening with him? His body was spazzing out. Do you see that? Chief Gaunt, you didn't. The murder was most likely a spur-of-the-moment crime for one in their right mind. Would choose the police department as a place to commit murder. Who would do such a thing? After the murder, you contacted Lana at the prosecutor's office. Why? To dispose of Detective Goodman's body, of course. You're forgetting, Mr. Wright, that the victim's body was discovered in the prosecutor's office parking lot, inside your car, Edgeworth. How did he manage to move it there? I was at the police department the entire day, you know. And everyone's aware that Lana stayed at the prosecutor's office after the ceremony. Everyone except me, it seems. Still, you're the chief of police. You must have an entire police force at your disposal. Oh, so you think I just ordered an officer to do it? Perhaps Officer Meekins? Hey, you! Take this here dead body over to the prosecutor's office. I don't think so. Chief Gaunt, you left all the evidence we need to prove how you moved the body to the prosecutor's office. And I just thought it was useless clue just taking up data. Oh, space. Sorry, clues taking up space. Oh my gosh. How could the chief have moved the body? Mr. Wright, show us the evidence. To move the victim's body, Chief Gaunt used... What would he have used? Okay. So we have the parking stub that we haven't used. Evidence from the past of Edgeworth brought back to Chief... Perhaps the parking stub. I feel like the parking stub is useless stuff that we haven't really used. Well, actually, we also, I don't think we've used... Well, no, we've used the Badger. Never mind. Let's look at the parking stub. He used the car, Edgeworth's car, so that's why he had a parking stub. A parking stub? Miles Edgeworth. You mean the body was found in the trunk of Edgeworth's car. I think it's obvious what happened. The body was moved by the car. Yeah, there we go. See? You mean I carried the victim's body. Precisely so. But wait, even you know, I didn't plan on returning to my office after the ceremony finished that day. But you did return. Tell me why. What is it? I was asked to go by Chief Gaunt, no less. He told me he wanted me to keep it here in the office. Oh, the screwdriver! Oh, there we go. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here. That's the reason why he came back. That's correct. So you see, what you really were taking to the prosecutor's office wasn't the screwdriver, but the victim's body in your trunk. So Edgeworth didn't know that he was carrying the body over. Wow. Okay, Detective Goodman's body was carried in the trunk of Edgeworth's car. Yes, unless, of course, you have another explanation, Chief. Why else would you have asked Mr. Edgeworth to transport evidence from a closed case? There's only one plausible explanation. To transport the body to your accomplice. Miss Lana Skye. Wonderful. Wonderful. It's all coming together. It's all coming together. Order, what's going on here? Is there no room for rebuttal to the defense's outrageous accusations? Think back to the photograph Miss Starr took at the prosecutor's office. This was not a photo of the body being stuffed in the trunk to be taken away. It was exactly the opposite. It is a photo of the body being taken from the trunk. Chief Gaunt, please say something. I believe... Your time's up. What? What do you mean your time's up? My time's up. Sorry, Righto, but I'm having lunch with the District Attorney General after this. We have to get going if we're to make it on time for the early bird special. Got you and your early bird special. You're not getting out of this. No. You can't just leave. But the cross-examination isn't finished yet. Remember what I told you earlier. A police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Like the right to refuse to testify. I'm invoking that right now. That's not right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered. So you're going to just run away from all this? Run away? Don't make me laugh, Worthy. I stabbed old Goodman. That's what you're saying, right? But if you had any conclusive evidence, you would have presented it by now. Well, I never. You think I had Lana dispose of the body? If so, then show me your proof. Get it over with. I'll say it again, Mr. Wright. Damon Gaunt is current chief police. This court will not tolerate any accusations against him without concrete proof. But, we... Well, Mr. Wright, Your Honor, do you have any concrete proof? Proof that Chief Gaunt murdered Detective Goodman and made this guy dispose of his body. We surely have evidence. We can look. I can't let him just squirm his way out of this. Okay. Keep the pressure on. Yes, Your Honor, I do have such evidence. What evidence we're going to choose? Okay. What do we have? I don't think we really have anything. Evidence law? Is it finally time for evidence law, maybe? So, what exactly is this evidence? It's proof. As whether or not enough to demonstrate the chief's guilt. I'll let you be the judge. But I am the judge. Alright. What do you think, Your Honor? Dang. I don't think I have any proof. For once, I don't think I have proof. It's no use showing evidence. No, Your Honor. At present, I have no conclusive evidence. Huh! See, Edgy. Udgy. Yeah, there we go. In that case, this court is forced to penalize you for your allegations against the chief. Here's a tip. Never gamble what you can't afford to lose, Righto. It seems the Lady Luck was on my side again today. Okay, Edgy. I'll leave the rest to you. Dang it. I warned you earlier, Mr. Wright. This is an affront to the senior officer in our nation's law enforcement agency. Wah! Objection! Edgeworth, you gonna help me, please? Lady Luck, maybe we should have a word with her. Mr. Edgeworth, what do you mean? There's one lady who knows the real truth behind this. Lana! We haven't yet had the honor of hearing her testimony. In the absence of conclusive evidence, the only other method to prove it is testimony. But Chief Gaunt has invoked his right to refuse to testify. There's still someone else one more witness who can answer all the questions. Someone right in this room. Who is it, Edgeworth? It has to be Lana, right? Why are you asking me, Your Honor? Have you forgotten? The defense is the one calling the witnesses today. That's true, it is me. Mr. Wright, does such a witness exist? It has to be Lana. It has to be her, right? It's gotta be. Okay, we'll try it. The defendant, Miss Lana Skye. She was in the underground parking lot at 5:15 p.m. on February 21st. Her task to dispose of the victim's body. In accordance with a certain someone's orders, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution has no objections, Your Honor. Very well. The court will now take a final recess for the day. Another recess? In 15 minutes, we'll reconvene to hear the defendant's testimony. Hold on. What? Chief Gaunt's still here? No, I thought you were going to eat. Listen good, Lana. He's talking to Lana. Oh gosh, he's threatening her. I don't think you need me to tell you this, but if you accept Mr. Wright's claims, there will be terrible consequences. That's right. Your sister will be found guilty for Neil Marshall's murder. This isn't good. Of course, you've never support such outrage claims anyways, right? Just something to think about, you know. Alright then. I've got a lunch date to meet. How can they not understand that that is a threat? Judge, please tell me you understood. Okay, if there aren't any other further objections. Judge, you... That's a threat. This court is now in recess. Ugh. Okay. 2:04, same day, February 25th. Looks like we managed to stay in the game. Thanks to your help, Edgeworth. That chief, he's something else, eh, pals? Detective Gumshoe again! Okay. Ha ha ha. I'm not a detective anymore. Oh yeah. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, Gumshoe. Oh, don't worry. I've already decided where to work now. At your office. My office? Sure. I'll take the place of that top-knotted girl you used to work with. Maya? You could never take her place in my heart. Never. Still, looks like we're all out of moves now. Chief Gaunt's done it again. How is it he always gets the upper hand? It's not fair. He has a right to refuse to testify. You're exactly right. It's not fair. Settle down, Wright. Remember what the judge said. But Chief, that's not right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be involved. What's the risks? Tell me. What do you mean by that? It's simple. If the chief refuses to testify, the opposite also holds true. You mean he forfeits his right to say anything too? Emma! Emma! Are you okay? Yeah. When I came to, I was in the medical office. I've been listening to the trial from the gallery. Emma, I'm sorry for what I said before. No, don't be. It was the truth. You know, it's funny. I almost feel somehow relieved. Relieved that you killed someone? Relieved. Yeah. I finally know what really happened. To think that all this time, my sister was being blackmailed by a terrible man. And she did it all just to protect me. Ever since her appointment as chief prosecutor, everyone who knew her said she changed. Perhaps it was easier that way for her. Well, what do you mean? What do you think? To follow Chief Gaunt's orders. She must have shut herself up deep inside. To force herself to do anything and everything that Chief told her to. It was all my fault. It's all because I murdered Mr. Marshall. Hey, don't go blaming yourself now. If you want to blame anyone, blame society, pal. Blame society. Thank you, Gumshoe. Thank you. Chief Gaunt may be able to fool everyone else with his forgery, but he can't fool in my memory. I remember now. I knocked Mr. Marshall into that armor. Well, we better get back. It's time for the final act. The final act? Why don't you wait here, Emma? No, I'm going with you. I want to be there. When Lana tells the truth. Let's go, Wright. It's time to end this. We have our whole group here. We're almost ready. We're almost ready. Really? There's one more episode? I thought since it said the final day trial ladder, that was going to be it. Okay, save. Final day trial ladder 2. Double. Electric Boogaloo. Okay. So, Gaunt has invoked his right to not testify. Now we are going to get Lana to go on the stands, and we're going to try to get her to say something that she doesn't want to say. She doesn't want to admit to it because then Emma could get. I don't see how Emma could get in trouble for something like that. I don't know. It wasn't. She didn't mean to do it. It was an accident. Plus, it's been years since then. Okay, I don't know for sure if they can actually get her guilty for that. But yeah. Anyways, apparently we have at least one more episode before we're done with this episode 5, Rise from the Ashes. So we will do Final Day Trial Ladder 2 next time. So yeah. Really enjoying this. I really like, as bad as Chief Gaunt is as a person, I just love the way he looks. I love everything about him. So I really like this. But yeah, anywho, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. So, bye bye.